and EV. And a winter wonderland, from Harbin's frosty icons in north to cutting-edge indoor resorts in the south, China's ice and snow economy is booming. Hi there, this is Good Evening from Beijing and welcome to Global Business on CGTN. We're coming to you live from the new CGTN News Studio in Beijing. I'm Lily Lu. China's Ministry of Culture and Tourism will focus on promoting rural tourism during the upcoming New Year and Spring Festival holidays. At a press conference on Monday, a ministry official said some high-quality rural tours will be launched soon to meet demand from tourists and spur holiday spending. These tours will involve Chinese traditional culture, festive activities, and creative souvenir products. In the meantime, inbound tourism will experience its first peak in 2025 thanks to relaxed visa policies. An estimated 2 million travelers are expected to enter the Chinese mainland from December 31st to New Year's Day, marking a nearly 19% increase from last year. Travel to China for sightseeing, business, studying, or cultural exchanges boomed in 2024 thanks to a series of visa policy expansions for foreign travelers. So what were their travel experiences like, and why has China travel become such a sensation online? Chen Yiling finds out.
This is insane.
The most beautiful city.
2024 has seen a remarkable resurgence of international tourism to China.
More than 29 million foreigners visited the country in the first 11 months this year. That's over 86% increase compared to last year.
Social media is also exploding with China travel, generating over 1 billion views, a number that's almost competing with the viewership of China's iconic Spring Festival Gala. Fueling this boom is a significant relaxation of visa policies.
The popular 72 144-hour visa-free transit policy allows travelers from 54 countries to stay in China for up to 6 days while transiting to a third destination.
But that's not all. Starting this December, the policy has been extended to a whopping 240 hours, that's 10 days.
And for citizens of 38 countries, visa-free stays for tourism, business, or family visits have also been doubled to 30 days. These relaxed rules have attracted not only millions of first-time travelers, but those who are returning for longer stays. Taz and Libby of UK visit China 4 times through the year and produce over 85 videos about China on their YouTube channel.
But I think we've done somewhere over 25, so it's about 26, 27 cities.
You know, it's opened our mind to so many different things. You know, we've tried so much food. We've just met the most friendly people.
While I was delving deeper into the China travel videos, I was intrigued by how often travelers describe China as being different from their initial perceptions. So I talked to a few of them about their experiences in China.
Then I noticed some of your most viewed videos feature robot food delivery or cashless payment. I wonder, has your travel in China altered your perception of the country in any way?
For me, it's just perfect. Like everything from the infrastructure, modern transport, convenience. It's really changed the way we view everything. It's just amazing.
If you come to China and if you go there and you see it with your own eyes, I mean, it's different. Because, I mean, you hear in the media many things, and I just didn't want to follow my direction and my expectations based on this. Living there and traveling there, I always felt welcomed. It's part of my passion, on my way to express in the daily life or things that you see in China that you don't see somewhere else.
For many vloggers, it's about sharing their authentic travel experiences and promoting understanding between cultures.
If you go back to our videos when we started vlogging in China, so the tone of the comments from even the Western viewers has changed so much, so much. Because it was very apprehensive at the start when people were like, okay, is it safe, is it not safe, la la la. But from then till now, people are commenting saying, we can't wait to go and see China for ourselves. You guys have really like shown us what China is really like, as opposed to what they hear in the media, and they are more understanding of like how things are on the ground level through our eyes.
So easy.
Meanwhile, China has also been upgrading services to enhance the travel experience for foreign guests, including improved e-payment services, expedited car rentals, and the widespread use of multi-language signage.
China is opening the door wider and wider, so many visa-free policies, especially the unilaterally open the visa to so many countries. I think itself is a great gesture and a great action to attract more foreigners to understand China.
The message is clear. China is increasingly opening up to the world, offering abundant opportunities for business, study, and culture exchanges. Qingling, CGTN, Shanghai.
Now, to get some discussions on the contribution of China's visa-free policy to the global economy, we have in the studio Professor Zhang Gong from the University of International Business and Economics. Great to have you in the studio with us, Professor.
Thank you. It's great to be in this brand new studio.
Yeah, so we just saw in the clip, though these foreign travelers having such a great time in China doing this and that, many things are out of the box for them. So obviously, China's visa expansion policy has played a great role in attracting all those travelers to China. Right. But what does those policies do for the global tourism industry?
Well, I think this policy is very much called for. China's inbound tourism hasn't been growing so much in the last few years, particularly against the backdrop of the COVID era. Now we are back to normalcy, and I think it's time that we open the door to welcome more tourists. I think this policy indicates that China is open for business, open for tourism, and open for everything. We are no longer entangled in these bilateral negotiations about reciprocity in terms of other countries providing visa-free entries for Chinese citizens as well. We are unilaterally opening door to welcome foreign tourists, and I think probably even more important is it stimulates incremental and extra demand for people who have never thought about planning coming to China. For example, they're flying to Japan, flying to Seoul, and then they figure out that the airline tickets are a lot cheaper if they stay 2 more days in Beijing and just come to Beijing and spend a good time here. And hopefully they will fall in love with the city and come back more often. I think this is what this policy is intended for. And I bet it's going to be successful in the future.
And how do you see this policy facilitate economic and trade cooperation? I mean, are there any specific examples you can share with us?
Well, I mean, I think tourism, business travel is indeed the harbinger for commerce later. And I think, a lot of people come to China, they're seeking opportunities. There's some good products, for example, and thinking about coming to China to tap the very large consumer market here in China. And this type of, low-cost, easy, no-hassle entry facilitates trips like this. And I think this is probably especially helpful for small and medium-sized businesses who don't have a large travel budget. They would like to hear on a meager budget, and it's something they can do.
Many people say climbing is hard. That's one thing, but staying on the top is even harder. So now we are seeing China's visa expansion policy welcoming many tourists, and they're getting interested in China. But what can we do to maintain this vitality and long-term growth of this inbound travel?
Well, I think in some ways, I've been saying this for some time. In some ways, China's economy has been very much digitized, and inadvertently, we're actually creating a little bit of an island, what I call digital island, making foreigners coming to China not very easy if they don't have WeChat, if they don't have other apps that they can easily make payments and other things. I think the big tech companies, they own us a commitment to make things easier for foreign visitors, especially WeChat, I would say, especially for Tencent.
Great stuff. Thank you so much for those insights.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's Professor Zhang Gong from UIB for us.
Thank you.
And still to come here on Global Business. We'll look at an NEV boom where Chinese new energy vehicle production and sales jumped 30% so far this year. And we give you a roundup of the NEV market in 2024.
The world economy as we know it is about to change. Global business reports highlight emerging markets, developing countries, and dynamic sectors worldwide. we feature top analysts and newsmakers to provide perspectives on every facet of business. From an on-the-ground perspective, we provide you with balanced and objective assessments. Fast, sharp, and insightful. Global Business. Only on CGTN.
Time now to get a check on some other major business headlines around China. China created a total of 11.98 million new urban jobs during the first 11 months of 2024. Now that is according to the Ministry of Human Resources and Social Security. And this year, the country has implemented a new round of policies to support employment and entrepreneurs, now creating over 1.3 million internship positions and issuing vocational training subsidies to over 12 million people. And the total number of moviegoers has exceeded 1 billion this year, according to data from online ticket booking platform. The total box office has registered over 42 billion yuan, or about $5.8 billion, with a total of 143 million screenings. And China's Ministry of Finance on Monday unveiled measures to encourage government agencies to prioritize new energy vehicles in their procurement plans, aiming for a minimum of 30% of annual vehicle purchases. The policy also outlines standards for certain government vehicles with fixed routes primarily used within urban areas, recommending that they aim to reach 100% NEV procurement. The China Association of Automobile Manufacturers reported record production and sales of new energy vehicles for the month of November. And with that, China's NEV production and sales have surpassed 11 million units so far this year, both up over 30% on a yearly basis. In the meantime, NEV sales in China have taken up more than 40% of total auto sales for the first time. According to the association's analysis, the increases were a result of nationwide subsidies and discounts for trading purchases that started in the summer. The association expects China's year-round NEV sales to approach 13 million units, which could be at a 37% surge from last year, and also higher than initial estimates. China's EV market continues to grow with growing sales of new energy vehicles. In the meantime, more and more new technologies are on the way to accelerate the development. Zhang Shixuan has more.
I bet the video held your breath. It's a car crash test at a speed of 120 kilometers per hour. No fire, no explosion for the crashed EV.
The whole industry used to be chasing after wholly only the energy density. And a lot of events happening in the last 2 years, 3 years in Europe, North America, gave us a little bit shock.
The global automobile industry is faced with profound changes unseen in a century. There will come a wave of customization.
A chassis and the driver's seat, that's all what I've got. But I'm ready to go.
Is the lower body of an EV the most critical part?
From the mechanical perspective and from energy management, from motion management perspective, that's correct.
It's redefining the world's EV battery industry.
The skateboard chassis is redefining auto design, manufacturing, and applications.
To some, it could change the entire EV industry. Much of that evolution happened here in Shanghai. The battery cells are directly integrated with the chassis. It's a skateboard chassis with the main part of the board flat as a skateboard. And that chassis is where CATL now lays a big focus on.
We don't see this as only a China game, we see this as an international trend.
I went to CATL's test facility in Shanghai to get a ride on the newly launched chassis. It felt just like any other car, but there are some secrets in the chassis.
It's clear you can see the electrical machinery, thermal management, generator, air conditioning system and some other component. In the middle lies the core part, which we call the energy storage, the cell. By dividing the chassis into 3 parts helps save costs in maintenance compared with integrated die-casting ones.
It can even run on its own, without a driver.
The batteries and electronic systems are all contained in the chassis. No wonder visitors to China's auto shows are often seen trying to get a view underneath.
In 2024, China became the first country to have produced more than 10 million new energy vehicles in a year, and 1 in every 2 cars sold was an EV. With the emergence of the market, technologies are also evolving at a record speed.
Normally, in development process of the traditional automotive, 4 years around is the total cycle that we need to develop a vehicle. And today in China, we see the development lead time is normally 2 years.
A lot has changed in the last 5 years. The company's chosen to meet those challenges with R&D.
张淑璇, SMG International for CGTN, Shanghai. And earlier, Cao Shuang, Managing Director of BYD Central Asia in European Auto Sales Division, discussed the EV company's latest